All right, on this one we're using Cramer's rule. So we've got to figure out d, dx, dy, and dz, all those values that are on there. All those d's are referring to determinants. So I'm just going to write them all out at first. So if I write out determinant d, let me switch colors. I'm just going to take this matrix, again written from these coefficients, and I'm going to write it as a determinant. So that means just absolute value lines. Like that. Yeah, well, that will be d. I'm going to put that in the calculator. It's going to have to be just that number. It's just a simple number. And then for dx, the idea is that if you look at this, this negative 4, 0, and 4, those are the x coefficients, right, of this matrix. So this first column, this is like the x column right here that will be coming down. I'm going to leave that one blank for a second, and I'm just going to fill in the other one. So I've got, for the y column, I've got negative 1, 1 and negative 7, and then for the z column, I've got my negative 8, 1, and 0. And then what you do is you replace the x column with the constant 6, 0, and 32. So that's these are coming in here. That's a negative. Oh, it is negative. I wrote this wrong. Oh. So, what's that? You'll see it's a method for finding x, y, and z. It's like this guy Cramer has this, like an algorithm that you go through to figure it out, and this is part of this process. So you just, to find it when it's dx, you change the x column, and then we're going to do dy and dz also. So for dy, I'm going to put my x column back in. I'm going to leave my z column as it was. But I'm going to plug my negative 6, 0, and 32 in the y slot. And you can probably guess what's going to happen for dz at this point. Right, so now I'll show you. So all of these are going to go in the calculator. We need to turn all of these into numbers. So if I go into matrix again, I'm going to go over to edit. I'll just keep these in the same matrix A. So this one's now negative 4, negative 1, negative 8, negative 0. And 4, negative 7 for y, 0 for z. Once it's in there, I just quit, go back to matrix again. This time I'm going to go over one space to where it says math. The very first choice there says determinant, so I'm going to choose that. And I want the determinant of, go back to matrix, and select matrix A. So now I'm just doing the determinant of A, press enter, and it gives up to B0. So that's what's going to kind of mess us up ultimately, I think, on this. But this thing, so this whole thing, this whole thing comes out to be 0. So my D is equal to 0. And then we want to be smart about how we do this. I don't want to keep on typing in every single matrix, right? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to go back to edit. And I'll edit this same 3x3 matrix, but this time I'll just get down into here and I'll just change this first column to be -6. -6, 0, and 32. And then once I have this all in here, this is what's nice, is I can just quit out of here. And if you look at the last thing I did was the determinant of A. Well, that's what I want to do again, right? Determinant of A. So I can just hit enter, and it'll do it again, but this time it'll give me my, my changed matrix. So now I go back, and for my dx, now I know my answer is 182. I'm going to go back again and do it for dy. So I'll edit, and I have to remember to change the x column back, though, to what it was before, which was -4, 0, and 4. And then I can change this other one. Quit, do it again. Now I get 104. And I gotta do that one more time. So I want -1, 1, and -7 in my y column. And then my 32. What's that? -104. So now the last piece of this is to figure out what x, y, and z are. And what Cramer's rule says is that to figure out x, I'm going to do dx over d. So that's going to be 182 over 0. And to figure out y, it's dy over d. So that's 104 over 0. And to figure out z, it's going to be -1/4 over 0. And that's why this one is an inconsistent system, has no solution, because all of these are divided by 0, right, which is undefined, so they're all undefined. But you can see the process. This is where the process goes. So if it were, a lot of times when you do this, this comes out to be 1, this comes out to be 6, this comes out to be -5. But it's another way to find x, y, and z without having to go through the entire process of solving a system of equations. By hand.